Hello everyone, Ivan Leong right here, and today I just want to be discussing about the topic of why heart rate does not really matter and why you cannot use heart rate to determine how many calories you burn in the gym or when you're doing an exercise. So a lot of factors that actually go into this, but I'm just going to be going on a few because I don't want to make my videos too long. I'm just starting out, and I hope that my videos are shorter so that more people would more likely to click into my videos to watch shorter version of explanation. Alright, so I decided to make this video right now. It is because I posted a video on my Instagram page. It is about if you when you're doing burpees for continuously doing burpees for straight 30 minutes without taking a break, the amount of calories you burn is actually the same with if you're walking on an incline for 30 minutes. And so as we all know, if you have done burpees before or you do them before, I've personally done them before when I was training for my basketball team back in my high school. And yeah, they are actually very intense if you have done them before. And then walking on an incline treadmill, it might not be as intense as a burpee, but they do burn quite the same number of calories if you do the burpees correctly 30 minutes straight without taking a break. Alright, so okay, so two people commented on my post. One is Kingfi, and the other guy is Gabriel Andrew, if I don't forget. So I made a few notes right here, and I hope that I don't mess it up like how I did for my older videos, because I just don't know how to do videos, but I just want to do my best and just try to explain things a little better, because the main purpose of me doing YouTube is to educate, and if I can, then maybe I can think of something else to entertain you guys in the future as well. Alright, so even though the exercise you're doing is an intense exercise, your heart rate goes up and lactic acid is everywhere on your body, but it does not mean that it will burn more calories. Okay, so when you're doing burpees, yes, your heart rate does go up more than when you're doing an incline treadmill, but it doesn't mean that you're burning a lot more calories, because I'll just show you this best example. Okay, so if you were to tell me to ride on a stationary bike, and you tell me to glide on an elliptical machine, and on the same heart rate and with the same pulse, the amount of calorie that I burn from the elliptical will be more than the stationary bike. Why? Because on a stationary bike, your hand is holding on a handle, and then the only body part that is actually generating watts is only your thigh. Okay, it's only your thigh, your leg muscles. And then when you're on the elliptical, you're using your chest, your arms, your back, and then your legs as well to generate watts on the bike. So which means if I go on the same heart rate, the amount of calories burned from the elliptical is way more than the calories burned from a stationary bike. Okay, because more muscles are involved. I hope this makes sense. Okay, so bigger muscles such as thigh and the glutes, but unfortunately not the bicep, it will actually burn more calories. So which means if you use more bigger muscle to exercise, then you can actually burn more calories. Okay, so let's get back to like burpees against treadmill. So just now I used an example, stationary bike against elliptical. So right now we go back to this example where burpees versus treadmill. So both exercises uses a lot of muscle. Both of them use the big muscles such as the thigh and the glutes, and then but a burpee they use maybe some chest, some arms as well. And then but the thing is, on an incline treadmill, the thigh and the glutes, they are bringing the body up a hill. So that is why it makes the exercise more intense. It's not like more intense, but it makes the muscle work more, and then therefore they can burn more calories. And then on the burpee, if you guys notice that it involves a squat, a push-up, and then an explosive jump at the end. But I just want to say that the only portion of the movement that is burning the most amount of calories is actually only the explosive jump at the end. because it involves a lot more bigger muscles such as the thigh and the glutes. So yeah, that is why the most amount of calories that is burned is actually from the explosive jump, and it's not the squat and not the push-up as well. Okay, and then Keng Fai also mentioned that if my heart rate is higher, then definitely I can burn more calorie in that higher heart rate. Well, actually, it has some amount of truth, but the thing is, you cannot actually say that, oh, if I'm at 85%, then the amount of calories that I burn will. I mean, I have to be at 85%, then therefore the amount of calories burned will be more if I'm at 70%. Well, the thing is, okay, we go back to the example, stationary bike against elliptical, same amount of heart rate, same pulse, same time, and then at the same pace, but then you burn more calories on the elliptical versus the stationary bike. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't necessarily mean that the exercise that you do is more intense, then you actually burn more calories from it. You have to the amount of calories that you burn is actually depending on how much muscle you use, especially those bigger muscles, not the upper body muscles, the bigger muscles. So it depends on the amount of muscle that you use for the exercise and the kind of activity that you're doing, and also the duration of you when you're doing. So which means the lower the heart rate, which means because heart rate, we use heart rate to measure intensity of the exercise. So if your heart rate is lower, definitely the exercise you do is less intense. Okay, so the lower your heart rate is, then the longer the exercise you can actually do. Such as like if you're going just for a slow walk and a slow jog, of course walking you can walk up to like 12 hours and no problem, you can still walk and not take a break. But if you go for a jog for 12 hours, more likely you will actually burn out the next day. And then versus when you're sprinting, no one in the world can actually sprint for 12 hours straight. Even though you tell me to sprint for 1 minute, I'll most likely just burn out on the next minute. So that is why you cannot actually say that okay, so the more intense the exercise, it is better. If you want to exercise smarter, you have to go on a more moderate pace, which allows you to go longer. So that way you can actually burn more calories, because more distance traveled, more time, which means more calories burned. If you go something which is too intense like a sprint, you cannot go for hours upon hours, and you will stop within like 5 or 6 minutes, and then the amount of calories you burn will just be within that 5 or 6 minutes. But then if you go for a jog, you can go for like 30 minutes, even go up to an hour, and you're still burning calories. And then one more thing that I want to address here is that there are actually none of those like fat burning zone or like the best zone to exercise in, because every zone of heart rate is actually a fat burning zone, because at the end of the day it's calories in, calories out. If you're eating in a deficit, then you're actually burning fat, because you're eating lesser than your body burn. So and if you're telling someone to exercise at like a zone or something, then it doesn't really make sense, because if you tell someone to exercise at a zone, then they can only start burning more calories. It doesn't really make sense, because if you tell someone who is unfit and you tell them to exercise at 80% of their heart rate, they cannot take it and they'll feel sore the next day and then they'll burn out. But if you tell me, which I've been exercising for like 6 years of my, I mean, it's not 6 years, I mean, I've been doing fitness 6 years of my life, and I do this like almost every single day. And if you tell me to exercise at 80% of my heart rate, then yes, I can go, and most likely tomorrow I will feel like it's nothing and I can still go to the gym. And but the thing is, the amount of calories burned is actually the same. So you cannot say that, you need to work in this kind of like this heart rate zone, 80 to 85%, and then you actually get a good workout. It doesn't actually go like that. So you just need to remember that you just need to go at a pace that you can handle for long hours, and you are not like out of breath when you're doing your cardio. And then one more thing about heart rate is that you cannot use heart rate to track how many calories you burn. Is that if someone drink a cup of coffee or drink a cup of like pre-workout, and most likely their heart rate will go up. So and then if you tell them to just work at 80% of their heart rate, what if that day they drank the pre-workout and then they go and exercise, their heart rate would most likely go up higher, even though they are not doing such an intense exercise. So are you going to tell them to scale down their intensity just because their heart rate is a bit higher? And you see, so basically, right, you cannot actually tell someone to use their heart rate to gauge how hard they are working, or they should work in that heart rate zone. So at the end of the day, it is basically kind of like, what kind of goal are you trying to achieve? So if you're trying to say that, oh, I'm trying to be very good at doing burpees, then yeah, you can actually do more burpees to just train your fitness level. But if your goal is to just be fitter, an incline treadmill walk is going to do the same thing, and at a moderate pace, of course. And then as long as the individual drops some body fat, he's more likely to be fitter, because you cannot be fat and fit at the same time. This is what everyone knows. So in conclusion, you just need to remember three things: is that the exercise that you do does not have to be very intense. Some certain amount of intensity is needed when you're doing cardio, because a moderate pace is more likely to burn more fat, and it's more time saving as well. It's better than walking, and you need to know that the exercise that you're doing uses more muscle, such as like if you're going on the elliptical. And then yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna end this video right here. I hope that I explained the question, and yeah, if you like my video, hit the thumbs up button, and comment algorithm to help me with the algorithm. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you do want me to coach you, I do online coaching as well as one-on-one coaching. You just email me at ivanleongfitness@gmail.com, and we can negotiate the price and how you want me to train you. I focus on bodybuilding, powerlifting, general fitness, and yeah, so on. So see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Fuck it up, I'ma pop off on some bullshit, feed out the brandy cups. So sip it Henny, it's gonna be handy. Hope you're feeling real dandy in this motherfucker. Let's go. A lot of green, but not a lot of fucking trees. A lot of fleas scheming to rob you blind gently. Suckers getting screws loose, working like a droid. Then they're nothing ball, catch a virus from something that ain't coy. See from the way she rubs her legs, leaving snail trails sliding up and down, all in the club.